Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today I don't have any time. I really just don't have any time, but I know that many of you, and also just because of the whole price action since yesterday, need the daily analysis. So I'm going to fly today once again to my home city, Berlin, where my father is waiting in the hospital. Yeah, I will be there for just a couple of days and flying back Friday night. So I really will try everything because I'm going to take my notebook with me, but I will check if it's possible to record the daily analysis there with my notebook. If it's possible, I will provide the daily analysis. As mentioned many times, guys, it's not about money. It's about a community. We are creating something that's completely different to every other projects we have seen in the past. And that's why I'm spending every remaining energy, the last reserves I still have for the community. That's part of it. It's not only easy, life could be very tough, and right now it's a very tough time. But we will do it. We will really do it. And the price action right now, it's not really, it's not easy. It's absolutely not easy. Bulls are showing some strength, but in my opinion the whole thing was just a distribution operation, and they wanted to clean up the whole shorts they accumulated just in the last few days and even maybe weeks. And usually when that happens, for me at least, it's a signal. We know that centralized exchanges are looking very weak. They are still have a declining. Right now it's flipping back to the downside, indicating less activity happening there. Less activity just mean less money, less revenue, but they still have their fixed costs, so they need to pay that. How to pay that? So when whales are expecting to go down, centralized exchanges have much more data than we have. They have better insights than we have. And in my opinion, they know very well what's going to happen next. And they don't want to give all these people the opportunity to take profit. Because if they are making less money, they can't spend more money. It's really easy to understand, I guess. And in my opinion, that's the whole story. It's, you see that, in my opinion, OTC triggered this pump. It correlates very well to Strange, because it's really strange. That since a month we are tracking Coinbase, and they were very bullish all the time. Right now, it's one of the big bears. While FTX and Binance are lifting up and CBD indicating they are buying more than selling, you see on Coinbase exactly the opposite. They are triggering every single sell order. And we are only stacking here 20,800 because they created a wall there, waiting with big volume, and that's the only thing. At the same time, I wasn't expecting such a big bearish price action on DXY, to be honest. So they liquidated my short. I don't care, because I'm not playing with big money. It is just some money I had on the centralized exchange with old games I did. So I was gambling a little bit, and that's absolutely fine. I went with all these funds at 19,800. even I knew that they like every time when they stop and hold the price to make another leg up, because they are accumulating shorts and then liquidate them. That's what they are doing. That's why it looks like a stir, but that's not new. That's also, it happened in the past many times, and they will continue with that game also in the opposite way. So I had just few I don't know, it's $300. That's really absolutely not big at all, but it's, I don't feel at the moment, I prefer to invest the money, to buy a spot, to maintain, to trade some swings, hedging, and so on and so forth, everything possible. But yesterday I stopped to hedge. Instead, I went all in with my short, and it failed. So yeah, gamblers have a short life, like me yesterday. But that's absolutely fine. Another lesson. Next time I will stick to my strategy. However, for me it's absolutely obvious that's a fake rally. That's really a fake rally. They did a short squeeze. The short squeeze I can show you here. We can see, for example, when we see that here, right? DXY pushed up, failed, got rejected very hard, and that was afterwards we created the first red candle afterwards, the first bigger red candle. What happened? SPY, that was the only event they triggered a short squeeze on SPY. If we take a look, that was the initiation of this fake rally on Bitcoin. And that's the thing. It's not Bitcoin. They are not initiating a rally because Bitcoin is strong and because the bull run is the next, just because DXY dumped. And that's, in my opinion, still a big problem. So everything maintains coupled. SPY to DXY, Bitcoin to SPY, and so on and so forth. So it's not easy at all. However, what I'm expecting is after the correction, yes, I think that was a correction. I think that if we take a look to SPY, DXY, we see what's happening. They tried once, got rejected here at 140, 114, almost 50. Next, 113.5, got rejected twice. What happened? Of course, they sold. In my opinion, we will maintain here. It will not take that long. They will try once again. We will go up. Also here, my opinion, we will go up. Why? Not only just because some people are in mood to buy dollars and to sell euros. It will be triggered by events. At the moment, the whole markets, it doesn't matter if it's DXY, it's SPY, Bitcoin, whatever. Every one of these assets are triggered by events. And currently, we had, the CB consumer confidence 102.5. Many people, as mentioned several times ago, I have said inflation will decline, but it will not automatically decline because the Fed is doing something for its monetary policy. But at the same time, the whole inflation issue, and not only in the US and Europe and many other locations, it's because it's a structural problem. It's a global problem, as mentioned many times in the past as well. So if we see that consumer confidence is reducing, that's the next step. It will take a little bit, but in my opinion, if we maintain, accept any kind of black swan events we still have on the table, and in my opinion, we are coming closer and closer and closer to it. So they will surprise us, no doubt. They will even surprise me, not with a black swan event in general, but when it will happen. But in my opinion, it will happen. However, means we will go down with inflation, and means they will reduce the interest rate hikes, but we will see a worst case, as mentioned many times, deflation and so on and so forth. So what should we expect for the next few days? I think I have mentioned that as well, but that's what I'm expecting, and that's what I see at the moment. Interest rate decision for the ECB, European Central Bank. Obviously, it will have an effect, because usually the first impact should be positive for the euro, even short term, where I would expect a bigger sell pressure on DXY. So is it possible that we go a little bit more down? It's possible. It's possible. It's possible that Bitcoin will go up a little bit more, but the current range we will maintain. We can go a little bit more up, we can go a little bit more down, but we will maintain there until tomorrow and maybe Friday. I think even Friday is going to be the most interesting day. Why? Because of the PCE. Why tomorrow volatile? Because we will see the GDP afterwards. We are not going to talk about the initial jobless claims. And why the GDP? Why is going to be GDP maybe a bearish scenario, or could trigger a bearish scenario? Because they are forecasting 2.4%. It's insane, in my opinion, to think even from view of statistics it would make sense, because you have certain cycles, they repeat, and they are expecting, previously the economy shrank by 0.6%, but now it will go up 2.4%. In my opinion, that's not going to work. Doesn't mean that the economy is not lifting up, because we have midterm elections and statistics. I mean, we don't need to talk in detail now about statistics, but in general, I think they will miss the 2.4%. Is that bullish or bearish? Well, usually I would say it's bearish, of course, but the narrative of Wall Street will say that's bullish because the economy is taking a hit. So we are coming closer to a pivot scenario. So also here, I would say it's going to be very volatile. We will go up, down, up a little bit more, and maybe then more down, because the PCE is going to be very interesting. Last time, previously, 0.6%. They are still expecting a rising inflation. 0.5%. Let us make 0.7%. And you will see what's going to happen with Bitcoin and risk assets and DXY. So in my opinion is that DXY up, and here I would say it's going to be both. In my opinion, this front running, what they did is just a preparation of the big thing, what's going to happen. And also to make clear, I wasn't that bearish in the recent days. I just said I can imagine we could retest our area of 17.6. After this last move, I wouldn't make a bet about that. I can even imagine to go even much lower, depending of the data they will provide. I know midterm elections is going to be in few weeks, in 2 weeks, if I'm right. But however, I would be extremely careful, because we will have interest rates decisions November 3rd, and if I'm right, November 8th is going to be the midterm elections. So it's going to be very exciting what's going to happen next. But from macroeconomic view, nothing have changed. Absolutely nothing have changed. So I know that some people are I don't want to offend anyone, but very desperate, waiting okay, the rally, the rally is coming. Even I still think that the rally will start, but I think with delay. I don't think it's going to happen now. November is going to be a very, very exciting month, another one, and then in December we need to see. However, initial comment by Inspo, done, even 50 minutes. I hope I could explain something, and let us go and check what could we expect next. So Wales ratio. Wales ratio was lifting up all the time, as you know. I need to change the color here. And that's absolutely normal, as mentioned many times. Like any channel, we have, of course, both trend lines, an upper one and lower one. Right now, in my opinion, we will bounce here and will go up once again, indicating that's delayed from yesterday, indicating they will send more bitcoins to centralized exchanges. We will check later on the reserves to see what's happening there. In my opinion, it should lift up even more, indicating more bitcoins are arriving on centralized exchanges. Let us go forward. Maybe I need here to refresh. So for me, it was the leg up. The next leg up was obvious after we received the second dump in the Wales ratio 1 hour time frame. I really can just recommend, if you are using CryptoQuant, I'm sorry, I will do that this weekend if I'm not forgetting that. I will tweet and share. I mean, all my setups here are available and open. So I will tweet that so you can check all my setups. If you have a CryptoQuant account, you can check exactly the same data like I'm checking here. And if you see such kind of move, it's just indicating we will go up. And that's what's happening here. That's why the Wales ratio declined the 30 hours moving average once. Second, it's weights let the price go up. They let, that's coordinated. So that's what's it's indicating here. While afterwards they push up and maintain between 80 and 100 because that's part of the distribution. That's it. They are distributing. Still below of 25k, even below of 21k. They are still distributing big. And that's really strange. Also partly by Coinbase, for example, the big bull right now distributing at that price. So why here? Why not more to the upside, for example? While FTX and Binance, as mentioned just yesterday, for example, they reacted with delay. Bitfinex was pushing up, but not big at all. They used a lot of futures, for example, Bitcoin collateral futures and stablecoin futures instead. However, stablecoin supply maintains neutral. I mean, it's not lifting up, but it's not declining, but it's still low level. Bitcoin stablecoins reserves on centralized exchanges, exactly the same. I'm just waiting to see that's declining, that they are taking more profit and leaving. That would be one indicator that the price is going to dump. At the moment, not happening. At the moment, it looks very bullish. In my opinion, many will start to also to bring some longs on the table, and they will start to accumulate. So it's possible we will go up a little bit more, retest 20,800 and so on and so forth. And when they notice they have enough longs, and with tomorrow events and volatility, that's it. So let us go forward. So we are here. We can see the flow and outflow activity. As you see, with the rising price, more bitcoins came in. For example, here almost more than 5,000 bitcoins. then here another 1,700, another 1,700, another 1,100. Here once again almost 3,000, or let us say almost 4,000 bitcoins, since we are in I would say that's the top, the local top. While yeah, if we compare, the net flow maintains relatively green, indicating we have a gap between inflows and outflows. We still have more inflows than outflows, indicating that they are still sending more bitcoins but not distributing all. That's what I mean with preparation. If we check, for example, then the stablecoins inflows and outflows, it looks like it correlates, but we have here is, if you can check, we are taking a lot of stablecoins out of the exchanges, a lot. At the same time, because that's obvious, when someone is selling, someone is also buying, and that's what's happening. That's why we have, for example, here, that's let me see, 42 million inflow, 41.75 million outflow. Almost identical. Means someone is reacting. It's just reacting. They are selling, he is buying. That's the only thing. So usually in the past, for example, we had huge amount of stablecoins. For example, last year. And then they started to push up, to push up, to push up. At the moment, it looks like they are reacting. They are just reacting. Oh, look, someone wants to sell. Let us send stablecoins and buy them. It's just, it looks different. However, doesn't mean that's bullish or bearish. It's just something I'm detecting here. It's a very strange pattern. They are just reacting. They didn't. Usually, you have, for example, like here, such bars just before, and that's what they do. They prepare the stable coins, they are located on the centralized exchanges, and when it starts to go up, they start to buy, and then let the retailers push the price more up so I can distribute. Didn't happen. And if you check that looks crazy. That's a pure distribution what they are doing, and yes, of course, someone is buying, always. Otherwise, the price will decline, not go up at all. So you can imagine that. Yeah, that's it. Let us go forward. So, future market. What's happening here? Well, funding rate up, down, right now again up. So indicating they're right now demanding again longs because, that was a little correction. We will go up once again. Stablecoin reserves or stablecoin inflows decline while someone is taking profit here, but not big, not really. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, we had here 270 million in inflows, while at the same time we had almost, let me see, that was almost 400 million outflows at the same time. So someone took profit here after we reached the first leg up, before we went to make the second one, and right now they are taking profit mostly. Opposite way is related to bitcoins and inflows. A lot coming in, not the same like we had in the past, but 4,000 bitcoins was today, for example, and that's big. That's really big. And I'm not going to make any teaser, but the market maker entities are very active today once again. So we need to see. However, here also 3,300 bitcoins and so on and so forth. Yesterday, look, that's crazy what they did. That's crazy. I mean, the last time we had such, that was here. That was December 2020. In December 2020, we liquidated here. That was December 16th. 16,600 bitcoins in shorts. Yesterday, we did 16,143 bitcoins in shorts. That's huge. And now imagine what would happen if we go down. If we really go down hitting 14, 15 or something, they will do exactly the same with longs. Exactly the same. That's amazing. That's really amazing. I mean, this one was big. You remember I have said, wow, in 2 days, 13,000 bitcoins. And that was a big leg to the downside, where with volatility, they liquidated 13,400 bitcoins in longs. But shorts, that was really incredible what happened yesterday. And the price didn't move. I mean, 1,300 bitcoins. We do 1,300 bitcoins in 1 day, usually. I mean, when they want to scam pump, of course. But that was a well-coordinated, in my opinion, well-coordinated operation. In my opinion, that was the shorts. And the longs will follow. I'm absolutely convinced. Open interest still maintaining that range here, and leverage ratio, they are right now lifting up a little bit, while the funding rate, of course, also lifting up, indicating they are, of course, longing. They are demanding more longs. I'm not sure. I mean, many people will short, of course, like me, because, I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced. I don't see anything that flips me right now to bullish. Even we went up, we retested the 20, but we are still at 20,500, and I see it's not coming from Bitcoin itself. It's once again initiated by a different asset, in that case DXY. And that just triggered a short squeeze on SPY. And Bitcoin is just following with all the algos. So it's crazy. And in my opinion, the algos were supporting the trend. But in my opinion, exchanges also pushed up even harder to liquidate all these shorts. But it's just an idea because it's a theory. We don't have any proof for that. What we see here is on Binance. I mean, look the funding rate. That's crazy. The funding rate went up, down, now up. So they are just demanding longs at the moment. Open interest, leverage ratio lifting up because only up. Well, we'll see. I really hope for them. Why not? So BitMEX. At the moment, of course, I mean, if we check that, let us refresh, we have 44 to 55. So shorts coming because everyone is expecting that. That's sometimes the problem. Many are expecting we will go down right from here. And in my opinion, we will maintain and they will play certain volatility to liquidate also this high leverage late shorts before we go down. That's what they do. In my opinion, that's what's the idea behind, is to liquidate as much as they can people they can take some profit. So, well, I mean, on Bitfinex, longs coming in. The question is if they are hedging once again, buying longs and selling spot. Well, we'll see. Let us take a look here on the Kingfisher. Let us make a little spin. I just only have four credits left. And oh no, okay, come on. Let us make another one. Come on. Spin. Otherwise I need to make break here. Oh, great. Thank you. So, Binance. Let us check what's happening here related to Binance. So, structure, high leverage shorts, almost nothing in low leverage. On longs right now, everything below 20k is creating a bigger liquidation cluster. That's what we have here. So between 20k and 19,400 or even 19,200. So go back where the whole story started. At least related to the Kingfisher, it wouldn't make sense to go up more. Instead, to flip and to go down. Well, we will see. FTX. Let us check how it looks there. I didn't see the volume right now, but okay. But at least on FTX, the volume is coming back from 1,200 liquidations. Now we have 1,800 here in the scale. So someone on FTX is, I don't know why it looks that different right now. Why it looks so different, I really don't know. But if we check that, that looks similar, but that doesn't. That doesn't, or maybe yes. We went down, then up. That's crap right now. But I guess, yeah, it looks similar. It looks similar. So we can say it's almost the same. We have now a liquidation cluster between 20k and 19k. So this one. But if they want to go more, we need to go to 25k to liquidate some shorts also here on FTX. Let me check Binance once again. $70 million. Okay, yeah. It's I think it went up once again. It looks a little bit different. But just because Binance has here a low leverage short position, but it's not on FTX. On FTX, it ends here, so it looks very similar. Once again, only this low leverage one not. Okay, let us go forward. So let us check FTX. What is FTX doing? Well, first of all, they started with delay, with a big delay. They were distributing while the price went up, then they started to buy more instead of sell. But as mentioned, with delay, while the aggregated one, as you can see, started in time. Even here, for example, also the Bitcoin collateral looks a little bit more bearish than the stablecoin futures. But however, that's what's happening. FTX, I mean, I wouldn't care a lot about FTX because we know that FTX has a very similar trade behavior like institutionals. They love to accumulate quick and then to dump it. So I would be very careful here. On Binance, we know Binance is the main driver due its liquidity. It's also the main driver of the aggregated spot. And as you see here, right now, they pushed up once again very hard. I mean, that's a 5 minute volume of 7,300 Bitcoins. That's really a lot. But just an hour, 5 minutes later, they sell all that distributed 5,000 Bitcoins. So if we check, for example, Bitfinex, also supporting it, as usual, not big, really not. I mean, compared to their volume, it is big, 380 Bitcoins, but not big at all. In my opinion, that's the last push. They will try to make 21,500. When you see a 21.5 gamma wall and nothing between, then usually they will try it. Not saying they will go up to 21.5, but they will try only if SPY supports the whole trend. If not, we are done. We are done. And in my opinion, we are done. As mentioned, we can go a little bit more up, we can go a little bit more down. They will try to maintain that level here and distribute, and at any time soon, boom, will go down, triggered by an event. Mark my words. And well, Coinbase, what should I say? I mean, look that here. they started to distribute here. That's crazy, because from here the price maintained and started to lift up. They pushed a little bit, they supported this push, like, okay, FOMO and retailers triggered, now let us distribute even more and harder. And that's what they are doing. Crazy, because it's really strange to see that on Coinbase, but it seems they were buying and buying and buying and buying the dips. Now it's time to sell, but they are selling here. They are not selling, they are not waiting. They are, I mean, they distributed here almost, let me say, 600, almost 3,000 Bitcoins in CBD, while Coinbase doesn't have the same volume like Binance, for example. It's really big what they are doing, and well played, chapeau. Entities. Let us check what entities are doing. Retailers reducing its balances. These guys reducing balances. These guys not doing anything. These guys not doing anything. Market maker lifting up. Be careful. They are lifting up here. They distributed all the time, and now they are buying here? I would be careful. I guess they spent some Bitcoins in derivatives, and they are once again just loading the gun. But we need to see. This guy's here declining, indicating people are outflowing Bitcoins. That's why those entities here related to centralized exchanges are reducing the balances, so it's absolutely fine. What we also can see here is that's only fund flow related to the market maker. 1,300 here, another 700 Bitcoins here, another 1,000 Bitcoins here. So we are talking here almost about 5,000, and that matches very well to what we have seen here, right? So you know what that means. Usually when the market maker entities are starting to send Bitcoins, they want to distribute even more, and usually then higher it is, better it is, because then we will flip and go down once again. Yeah, Bitcoin reserves, we can see that here since October 25th, so since 5 days, it's lifting up. Why we have outflows? So we are talking here about 13,000 Bitcoins. It's not big, 13,000, but we don't know how many they are still waiting there to distribute. So I would be careful. I wouldn't be that bullish. And as mentioned here, I had some hope, to be honest, because the activity on centralized exchanges related to spot started to flip, so to go up a little bit, but now it's indicating it's going down once again. We need to see, while futures only looks a very solid trend. That's a downward trend, so not looking good, to be honest. Yeah, miners, nothing. So that's it. At the moment, not happening anything. Also here, for example, related to the activity, OTC activity coming in once again. They are pushing and pushing and pushing OTC, it seems, and I don't know why. The interesting part was here when we noticed OTC activity while a really reduced centralized exchange activity, and the price reacted pushing up. Interesting, really interesting. In my opinion, that's for me a confirmation, if I'm right, that these guys were pushing the price a little bit more up, and then taking out some Bitcoins. And that's why after they triggered it here and then constantly taking the Bitcoins out, then declined while the price went down. Then here once again the price starts to go up. So it looks like it's mainly once again here, for example, as well. I mean that I don't think that's really coincidence. It's exactly the same pattern. Exactly the same pattern. Afterwards up, afterwards up. So in my opinion, OTCs are playing here, and in my opinion, it's much more hedge funds. Because on CME, I mean, CME, that's the problem. They are bringing reports every 2 weeks or something. They closed a lot of longs, sorry, a lot of longs, but also shorts, not that big like longs. They reduced. Hedge funds had in the beginning of September almost 420 millions, 430 millions and longs. Now, and they dumped their balances a lot since mid of October. Now they only have 200 millions here. Related to shorts, it's not the same. We had here in the beginning of October 830 millions in shorts and still have 700 millions. So these guys are much more bearish than bullish. And usually these guys, when they start to push up very hard with longs, you know something big is going to happen. I'm not talking about $1,300 or $2,000 in price difference. I'm talking about big. So these guys are reducing their longs. They reduced also their shorts, but still maintaining 200 millions versus 700 millions. What should I say? Okay, let us go forward. Oh, back to the exchange walls. What's happening here? While Coinbase is pushing up, you see they are really limiting here the way up at the moment. At 21K we have this wall, and you can see the big gap here and no big buy orders coming right now. So they triggered every single sell order they had. That explains why they started to decline here. Look how many red candles we have here. That's crazy. They temporarily here, for example, pushed up, and afterwards they used the opportunity to distribute even more. We will see. I have my doubts that they will break the 21K and push up and push up and push up. Even we can see here what they did. I mean, we have here a big cluster of sell orders hitting 36 or something. So yeah, we will see. I mean, nothing have changed here. The only thing is they absorbed a lot of these sell orders. They triggered it, and right now they are trying once again to push up. So I would like to see what is going to happen here. It's going to be very exciting. Deribit. Nothing. They still wait here 21,400, but absolutely nothing. It's perpetual anyway. So here, that's Bitstamp, also waiting at 21K. And look, they are really pushing hard, I guess, once again, of course, because of SPY. And that's the only key on Bitcoin at the moment. They are pushing up. In my opinion, 385 is going to be the top because of the gamma wall. I think they just showed me we have two gamma walls, but the biggest one is at 385 on SPY, and that's where we are right now. So usually it would indicate we will maintain there, they will try, they will get rejected, and then afterwards we will go down with Bitcoin, of course. While Bitcoin is trying to push up very hard. I mean, it's exaggerated, like they like to do it. They really love to do it. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Binance. Also here, they triggered a lot of sell orders. But in that case, a lot of retailers and whales just jumped to the train, into the train, And right now also here they are waiting at 21k to sell, and even here at 21,500. So we need to see. Bitfinex doing exactly the same. They removed the sell order here at 21k, but as you see, they are waiting here as well. But on Bitfinex, it's really hard to find a solid wall, because many are just triggered by some algos. FTX, a lot of shorts. They have here shorts at 21k, a lot of shorts also here, a big cluster of shorts waiting to get triggered. So I don't see nothing to the downside, and usually they want to maintain the price when you see such a cluster of big volume to the upside. OKEX spot, nothing. Kraken, also looking like they want to limitate the price to the upside. Bitfinex, Bitmex, nothing. Binance futures, also here doing exactly the same. Only if they open here, they will let the price go up, because that's what they are doing here, you know. So they will try to push up. As mentioned, they will rush, they will try to make the 21,500, as you can see, and they are really pushing. I mean, we see here a gap between shorts and longs at the moment, plus 10,000 bitcoins and longs right now in the 1 hour candle. So it's not peanuts at all, but at the same time you can see here it's very controlled. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. Kraken futures, nothing. OKEX futures, nothing. And FTX spot. And FTX spot also here triggered a lot. Right now pushing up. Not very hard. CBD 100 and plus. It's not that big, to be honest. We had here a bigger negative CBD, for example. They started really late to push up, to be honest. But I don't see here. They try to push up, and that's why we have a lot of volume here, much more than to the upside, because they really push the price up with buy orders. So if they want to go down, they trigger all the buy orders, but mainly that works mainly with algos here. That's it.